Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, classmates. This is our topic, Chapter 6, Social Institution. So, this is the continuation of our topic. My topic is all about what are the functions of school. So, according to McNerney and Herbert 2001, they describe the school as foremost, a social institution. That is an established organization having an identifiable, structured, and a set of functions meant to preserve and extend social order. So, what are the functions or what are the purpose of school? So, school is a place for the contemplation of our reality, and our task as teachers, in simplest terms, is to show this reality to our students who are naturally eager about them. So, as a teacher, our role is to help and to show the learner what is reality. So, first is intellectual. So, the intellectual or the purpose of intellectual in school is to teach basic cognitive skills such as reading, writing, and mathematics, and also to transmit specific knowledge. So, and intellectual purposes or the purpose of intellectual in school is to help students acquire higher order thinking skills such as analysis, evaluation, and synthesis. So in intellectual purpose, this is what uh, what teacher needs to observe the learner kung may naiintindihan ba ang isang learner. So, second is political. So, political or inculcate allegiance to the existing political order. And it is also to prepare citizens who will participate in the political order. And the most important is it helps students or it's help the children to teach the basic laws of society. Next is social. So the purpose of social in school is to socialize children into the various roles, behaviors, and values of the society. So, and last is economic. So, the purpose of economic in school is uh, to prepare students for their later occupational roles and to select, train, and allocate individuals into the division of the labor. Multiplicity of school functions in the new century. So it is presented at the conference jointly organized by Educational Research Association, Singapore and Australian Association for Research in Education. Yen Xiongxing, 1996, suggests that there are multiple schools functions including technical economic function, human social political, cultural, and educational functions at the individual, institutional, community, society, and international levels in the new century. So first is technical economic function. So technical economic function, it refers to the contributions of schools to the technical or economic development and needs of the individual, the institution, the local community, the society, and the international community. So, in individual level, schools can help students to acquire knowledge and skills necessary to survive and compete in a modern society or a competitive economy. And it is also provides staff job, training, and opportunity. In institutional level, schools are service organizations providing quality service. It also they serve as a live place of work, place of society for clients, employers, and all those concerned. So in the community and society levels, schools serve the economic or instrumental needs of the local community, supply quality labor forces to the economic system, modify or shape economic behaviors of students. At the international level, school education supplies the high quality forces necessary in the international competitions, economic cooperation, earth protection, and technology and information exchange. Second is human social functions. So, in human social functions, they refer to the contribution of schools to human development and social relationships at different levels of the society. So, in individual level, schools help develop students to develop themselves psychologically, socially, and physically, and it is also help them to develop their potential as fully as possible. So, in institutional level, a school is a social entity or social system composed of different human relationships. In the community and society levels, according to the perspective of functionalism, schools serve the social needs or functions of the local community, support social integration of multiple and diverse constitutions of society. It is also facilitate the social mobility within the existing social class structure, reinforce social equality for all people of different backgrounds, select and allocate competent people to appropriate roles and positions, and also it is contribute to social change and development in the long run. So next is political function. So, political function refer to the contribution of schools to the political development at different levels of society. In individual levels, schools help students to develop positive civic attitudes and skills to increase the rights and responsibilities of citizenships. In the international level, schools act as a place of systematically socializing students into a set of political norms, values, and beliefs, or for critically discussing and reflecting on the existing political events. Next is cultural functions. So, cultural functions refer to the contribution of schools to the cultural transmission and development at different levels of society. So, in individual level, school helps students to develop their creativity and aesthetic awareness and to be socialized with the successful norms, values, and beliefs of society. And also in institutional level, schools act as a place for systematic cultural transmission to and reproduction of the next generation, cultural integration among the multiple and diverse constitutions, and cultural revitalization of outdated poor traditions. So, in the community and society levels, schools often serve as a cultural unit carrying the explicit norms and expectations of the local community. It is also transmit all the important values and artifacts of society to students. It is integrate the diverse subcultures from different background and revitalize the strengths of the existing culture such that the society or the nation can reduce internal conflicts and wastage. and build up a flying force for national conflicts. In the international level, schools can encourage appreciation of cultural diversity and acceptance of different norms, traditions, values, and beliefs in different countries and regions. And it is also finally contribute to the development of global culture through integration of different cultures. So, next is education functions. So, it is also referred to the contribution of schools to the development and maintenance of education at the different levels of society. At the individual level, it is important for schools to help students to learn how to learn and help teachers to learn how to teach. Also, it is facilitating teachers' professional development is one of the key functions of education at this level. In institutional level, schools serve as a systematic place for systematic learning, teaching, and discriminating knowledge, and as a center of systematically experimenting and implementing educational changes and development. So, in community and society levels, schools provide service for different educational needs of the local community, facilitate development of education professions and education structures. So, in the international level, schools can make an important contribution to education for the whole world. Are you aware of the manifest and latent functions of education? So, manifest function of education defined and intended goals or consequences of activities within an organization or institution. So, there are six major manifest functions. So, first is socialization, social control, social placement, transmitting culture, promoting social and political integration, and agent of change. So, first is socialization. So, socializations is schools teach students the student role, specific academic subjects, and political socialization. So, in the primary and secondary schools, students are taught specific subject matter appropriate to their age, skill level, and previous education experience. So, in the college level, students focus on more detailed knowledge of subjects that they have previously studied while also being exposed to new areas studies and research. So, second is social control. So, schools are responsible for teaching values such as discipline, respect, obedience, punctuality, and perseverance. So, schools teach conformity by encouraging young people to be good students, con- conscientious future workers, and law-abiding citizens. Third is social placement. So, social placement, schools are responsible for identifying the most qualified people to fill available positions in society. Transmitting culture. So, transmitting culture in as a social institution, so education performs a rather conservable functions. It is transmitting the dominant culture. So through schooling, so each generation of young people is exposed to the existing beliefs, norms, and values of our culture, and also will learn respect for social control and reverence for established institutions such as religion, the family, and the government. So the fifth major manifest functions is promoting social and political integration. So, in this, education serves the latent function of promoting political and social integration by transforming its population composed of diverse ethnic and religious groups into a society whose members share to some extent at least a common identity. So the last is agent of change. So, agent of change is education can stimulate or bring about desired social change. So it is also promotes social change by serving as meeting ground when each society's distinctive beliefs and traditions can be shared. So, numerous sociologically studies have revealed the increased years of formal schooling are associated with the openness to view ideas on more liberal social and political viewpoints. Latent functions. So, first is restricting some activities. So, restricting some activities. So, in our society, there are laws that require children to attend school or complete a primary and secondary education. So, out of these laws grew one latent function of education, which is to keep students off the street and out of the full-time job market for a number of years by helping keep unemployment within reasonable bounds. Second, matchmaking and production of social networks. So, because school brings together people of similar ages, social class, and race, young people often meet future marriage partners and develop social networks that may last for many years. So, third is creation of generation gap. So, students may learn information in school that contradicts beliefs held by their parents or their religion. So, when education conflicts with parental attitudes and beliefs, a generation gap is created if students embrace the newly acquired perspective. So, the functions of schools as stated by Calderon 1998. So, which are conservative functions, instruct, instructional functions, research functions, social service functions. So, first is conservative functions. So, the school conserves and preserves through its libraries and other devices recorded accumulated experiences of the past generations such as knowledge, inventions, mathematics, and etc. So all these are preserved for future generations. So, instructional function. So, this function, the main concern of the school is to pass on the accumulated experiences of the past generations to the incoming generations. So, this is performed by individuals trained for the purpose, called teachers, mentors, instructors, or professors. So, the recipients of such instructions are the young learners called pupils or students. So, some call such as instructions culturation when things of the local culture are tough to the students. So, in the performance of these functions, the school is expected to produce leaders in all fields of endeavor, uh, politics, education, trade, and industry, science, especially in medicine and the like. So, research functions. So, This is also an important function of the school. So, the school conducts research to improve the old ways of doing things or to discover higher to unknown fact or system to improve the quality of human life. So, in the performance of these functions, for instance, uh, some schools are said to be acceptable of if made opera local or functional. So, social service functions. So, social service functions is one justification for a particular school to exist is to render some kind of social service in the place where it is located. So this may be done through some kind of outreach programs, which could be in a form of literacy, health, means of livelihood, recreational activities, and etc. So what are the functions or what are the purpose of schools? So, schools can play a pivotal role within a sustainable community. This is the end of my topic. Thank you for watching and listening. Good afternoon.